Alrighty, y'all, so we're going to build my entire house in 8 months, and I want to show you the entire process here. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,600 square feet, and first we started off by obviously buying the property, and then we installed the silt fence. Then the surveyors were able to come out and get all of the points set for the property lines and then where the actual house will be. Moving forward, the footing guys showed up and got everything dug out, and we set all the rebar here. You can see we used 3, and then the actual concrete showed up because we had to get that poured as well, which went pretty darn smooth. We knocked that out in about 3.5, maybe 4 hours. Got it all done, and once it dried up, it looked great. I mean, I was excited to get this gravel moved around inside. You don't want just the grass and everything in there, so I got it moved around. I didn't have a rake, so I was using a literal broom. Then the block mason showed up and got this foundation knocked out in about 2 or 3 days as well. They did a phenomenal job just getting me moving forward and progressing throughout the build. It was time to install the French drain, so I went and cleaned up along the edges there, and you can see I have this damp-proof material right here that I'm applying along the bottom of the foundation that I really didn't enjoy doing because my back was hurting. But anyways, we got that piping down in there, which has the holes in it, so when the water flows through it, it can get to the back of the property. Got all of the rest of the gravel in so that when the framer showed up and 84 Lumber delivered all of my material, they were able to get straight to work. You can see we got the subfloor down right there, got on with all of the walls, and just started progressing throughout the entire house build. This took about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. It kept raining on and off, but the guys were knocking it out, and I was very happy to keep moving forward and just getting this thing done, because at the end of the day, getting the framing done on the house is one of the most cool processes of the entire house build. So I was very excited to get all of this done and just keep moving forward. We wanted to progress as good as possible because on a construction site, I'll tell you what, this thing gets stressful. But anyways, you can see that the roof is getting done right here as well. All the ceiling joists and everything were done. All the LVLs in there, and everything is just looking amazing. The guys were knocking it out. They got my entire soffit done right there, as you can see, and just started covering up the roof right there. And I was very excited to finally get to this point because guess what? That means that we're gonna get shingles on the roof. So we got the paper down right there, and then we used ice and shield in the valley, and everything moved pretty darn smoothly. I was very happy with this part of the process. As you can see, we wanted to get it covered up so if it did rain, water wasn't getting inside. Got all the shingles done. They had a 2-man crew right here, and they knocked this out in literally 1 day. They were not playing around, and I was very excited to just see this get done because when you're building a house, there's so many different moving parts, but you want to get it covered up as soon as possible because with everything moving so quickly, you don't want it to be wet inside, and everybody else doing work does not want to be wet inside if it rains. So moving on to month 2 right here, you can see that we were actually getting some things done that I wasn't able to do at the beginning part of the build. So I was adding 2 block columns, and that was my first time ever doing masonry, even though I'd been around it my entire life. After that, we got the Tyvek around the entire house. He did a great job here, getting it nice and tight and just using the button cap nails for everything. And I was just very happy to go ahead and just get this done because that means we were getting closer to getting windows and being able to do all the siding. The Tyvek turned out great. As you can see, we're flying around here on the drone and everything looked awesome. And then the plumbers came out to do that plumbing rough in. I was very excited to get this part of the process done because that means we're one step closer to being able to actually get some like really solid work done right here. So J-Rod right there at MC Plumbing showed up and just did an amazing job. Got everything done, and we actually passed the plumbing inspection on the first go round, so that turned out great. Then we went and did the heating and air right there, got that roughed in. They had a bunch of material that needed to be ran underneath because I did set my unit in the crawl space, and that worked out really good for me. So John with Scenic Air Solutions did an amazing job for me, so I was really happy with that. And then once they got done, basically we were full head of steam getting all of these final touches on the HVAC, but very happy with this again. And then the electrician was able to show up and get everything marked out. We went through the entire house just to see where I wanted all of my outlets, all of my switches, extra can lights and things like that. And Adrian here with Absolute Electric did a phenomenal job. He went ahead and set that panel right there, and of course we had to raise up the actual garage slab. It was a little bit low in that video. And then we got all the doors measured up and everything like that. They started running all their wires, and basically we were able to get the whole electrical rough-in done. So as you see here, I had to fill up this back porch area with a ton of gravel, and then moving forward into the garage, me and my dad got to work in here. He'd come help me out every now and then when he wasn't too busy doing whatever else he does, and we got it all compacted down so that this was nice and sturdy, and so that my garage slab doesn't crack over time or settle. And we just kept moving forward. My brother came in with my little nephew Levi right there, so big shout out to Arch and Levi. And then my dad again compacting the rest of it before we actually form it, put the plastic down, the wire mesh, and then get the wooden forms on it and get it poured. So I actually had to go to Atlanta to pick up some doors for my front and back doors right here. I tried to get them special ordered, but the lead time was way too long. We got everything waterproofed, and then my man Ivan right there came in and got them installed for me in no time. So that worked out well. And then month 3, basically, we were getting everything kind of closed up. The doors were done, and I was just ready to get these windows in because, man, I had been waiting so long. It actually took 5 to 6 months to get my windows in from when I ordered them, and these lead times were just crazy. So I'd go back and forth getting everything cleaned up just to make sure the job site was nice and clean in case anyone had to come in and out. So then I went and got my cabinets here. Big shout out to Maddie. She did a great job helping with the selections. And then my interior designer, Rosa, she is phenomenal. Go follow her on TikTok at It's Handcrafted. And basically we got all the cabinets picked, and this is the part of the process right now where we're about to get things really rolling because the windows were coming in. So that means we were going forward, and anytime you're moving forward on a job site when you're doing construction, that is a huge plus. So they got in here, started knocking things out. Very awesome folks right here, man. They got the windows all installed for me. We made sure to get them all nice and waterproofed and everything like that using the zip tape because we want to make sure everything is nice and sturdy, but we also want to make sure it is waterproofed and we're not just installing stuff the wrong way. So they did a great job here. As you can see, the windows turned out awesome. Can't exactly remember the number of windows I have, but it was time to get the rest of this back porch done. I went ahead and compacted everything because it was about time to get this poured and the garage slab and the front porch. So me and my dad here putting down the plastic and the mesh and just moving forward, trying to get this thing done as soon as possible because I was ready to move into this house. So you can see LambCon came here in Chattanooga, Tennessee and got my actual concrete delivered. So we're in month 4 right there, and the guys are in here working hard, getting everything poured out. I was very excited at this point in the process because, man, once you get that slab down, it feels different. Like, you actually can walk in, like, you feel like you're not just walking on gravel all the time. It doesn't feel like you're that much on a construction site once all these slabs get poured, so it feels pretty darn good inside of the house. So as you can see, they got this entire garage slab knocked out for me, and I was very, very happy with how it actually looked and how it felt just being in and out of the house right here. Once this actually cured and everything set up nice, once the concrete jumped, it looked amazing. I mean, they got the bull float on everything right here, kind of smoothing it all out for me. So this is just part of the process where it's actually exciting and it makes you feel like, wow, I can't wait to finally live in this home. So that's just the process of all that, getting it all buffed out, smoothed out, and just making sure that it turns out awesome. They had to work late this night. We literally left at like 9 p.m. or something like that. It was crazy, but hey, when you're trying to build your house, that's just part of the process. So you can see the front porch, the garage slab, it all looks great. The back porch looks awesome. I was very happy with that. And then it was time to actually install all the hardy siding. So as you can see, we used all the 4x10 panels because we had to use the longer one so that it was just one piece all the way around. Then I went with the board and bat version so that my house had this amazing farm style house look, because wait till you see it painted, you will actually love it. I fell in love with it, and they were just knocking this out super fast. As you can see, I mean, I think this took them maybe 3 days. They had 2 crews coming up, 2 vans, and I mean, this thing was getting knocked out extremely quickly. I love how it looks. It's just one of those things where once the siding gets on the house, you're finally like, man, this is what my house is going to look like. They were an awesome crew. They had a lot of fun, and I was just happy that they showed up and came out and just had an amazing time, you know, working, and they're not like miserable at work and stuff like that, because it sucks when you get crews that just hate being at work because, hey, you got to love what you do if you don't want it to feel like work. So very happy that they came out, got this all knocked out for me. And basically the entire house came to fruition. Like, I'm very happy with how this turned out. If you look from the front, the back, the sides, this thing was beautiful. And this has no paint on it. So anyways, so it was time to jump in the house and start getting all of the insulation knocked out. So Insulation Unlimited came in and got everything actually sprayed right there along the edges so that no air is escaping. And then we got the bat insulation installed along all the exterior walls to make sure that the house was nice and tight and that it was energy efficient. So the crew did amazing. They did this entire house in one day as well. just getting all the exterior walls done, making sure that it was done right. They even cleaned up after themselves. Just a great and awesome crew. And then it was time to start staining stuff. So the TNG right here, so the tongue and groove that's going on the front porch and the back deck, right on top right there, you can see it turned out amazing. My painters came in, got that done, and then the installers came back and started installing all of the TNG for me. And I was just very happy just seeing all the beams and the TNG done. I was just happy with this process. So month 5, you can see all my drywall guys came in, they got their stilts on, and they were moving at lightning speed. I mean, literally, they were knocking this thing out so fast that I couldn't even keep up with the camera half the time. So they had a ton of people show up. They had like 3 crews coming in, 3 vans or something like that. It was crazy, but Carlos sent out his crew and they just did an amazing job, and I was just very happy with what this made the house look like. It started making it feel like more of a home versus just like a construction site. And so basically they went through, got everything done for me, got all the moisture boards in the bathrooms done, and I can't remember exactly how many boards we went through. I think it was about 104 or something like that. But this house got knocked out. They literally hung and finished it in one day, and then they had to come back to do the second coat and sanding and everything like that. They even had a whole carne asada in the middle of their job and still got done by 5 p.m., which is crazy. So anyways, they started mudding everything, getting the bazooka roller right there, getting all the walls done, covering up all the screws and everything so that the screws don't pop over time. And this is an amazing crew. Very happy with what they were able to do here. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of commotion. Is just being in this construction field, you want things done, you want things progressing, and when you have awesome crews coming out, it makes the entire job feel so much better. And then the stonemasons came out and started installing my stone veneer here on the exterior along the foundation wall, and I absolutely love how this turned out. So as you can see, they are knocking this out, and I'm just happy with the color. And wait till you see we actually paint the hardy, how it matches with that stone. I'm loving this look. I'm loving how it's turning out. And the guys were amazing. They were actually doing everything. My brother's been a stonemason for like 15 years. My dad was a block and brick and stonemason for the last 47 years. So I've been around it my entire life. I've actually laid a bit of stone. So seeing them do everything right, getting the levels out, drawing the marks, making sure everything looked great, that was very, very helpful for me. Just making this feel so much better and not worrying or stressing in this situation. So as you can see, they're close to finishing up all the way along all the edges here, along the foundation, the 2 front columns. And I just love how this actually turned out. That top sill plate area right there as well, right underneath that hardy siding, that looks amazing. I'm just very happy and just glad that they were able to come in and do such a phenomenal job, because it really brought the house together. We added a stucco layer on the back of that block right there on the back foundation at the back of the house, because I didn't want to run stone back there because no one's really ever going to see it, and that actually runs you a good amount of money. So then I went with the ivory mortar there in between the stone to give it a nice white pop, because you'll see once we actually paint this hardy, it's going to look amazing. And I'm just very happy with how all this turned out. Got it done. Got the columns set right there as well, and everything just turned out amazing. Like, this literally looked so good once they actually finished, and if you could be there in person to see this, you would realize what I'm talking about. Like, it looks good on camera, but at the end of the day, seeing it in person was amazing. The drywall crew had to come back, get everything sanded for me, so that took them another half day maybe. I mean, they were going crazy in there. These bazooka looking things, I mean, everything. And luckily they were masked up, because man, this was crazy. Like, there was so much dust flying around, so much of that just going everywhere, and you would literally just choke on the air if you were in the house without wearing a mask. So they got all their ventilators on and everything like that, making sure everything's done. So then my painters came to actually prime all of my walls and get everything done for me. They started in the garage, and they were able to move through the entire house pretty darn quickly. They got the spray gun right here, and then they were going back and rolling over it once they were done spraying the walls or the ceilings, wherever they were at. They also had their masks on, and they let me borrow one of theirs because literally this stuff was getting everywhere. I had overspray on my GoPro. We had overspray on our clothes. I mean, this thing had to get done, and it just made this house come alive. Like, it literally covered up, you know, all the drywall and everything like that, and it just looked so good because this primer was actually tinted to the color of my paint, so it looks literally just like what the house is going to look like towards the end of the video. I was very happy with how it all turned out. I mean, check out how cool this looks. You see all the outlets through here, the windows, and just that black contrast from the windows to the walls. So soon after, my trim guys showed up and got all my doors installed for me and got all of the actual crown and base and everything like that, the window casing. They started measuring for absolutely everything, and they actually did this in one full day. So I think they worked on the job for 21 straight hours. They actually left the next morning at like 6 a.m. to go back to Atlanta, and they started the day previous at like 9 a.m. So it was pretty crazy. I was there with them filming the entire process, got all the window casing around, everything like that, all the doors set, and they turned out awesome. I mean, I just love how it all looks once all this crown is down in the base, and just look at these walls. I mean, I have all this going on. I got that board and batten look for 2 accent walls, my office and my master bedroom, and I just love it. But now moving into month 6, it was time to get some of that exterior work done, get some of this dirt moved around, and just start progressing a little bit, getting this thing kind of finalized so that I could get what this house is actually going to look like. So I got this dirt moved around and everything like that, started moving stuff back and forth, trying to cut down this big old pile, this mound of dirt that my brother dropped off at my house from one of his job sites, and actually worked out great for me because I didn't have to bring in a bunch of fill dirt. So anyways, I got this entire property rough graded as best as possible, and it started looking amazing. I mean, you could really feel what the house was going to look like, how everything was coming together. I had to go grab some diesel real quick, fill up this skid steer, and just keep on moving. Got everything cleaned out of the garage because obviously the trim guys couldn't stay that night. I mean, they left at 6 in the morning. So I just got this cleaned up. Took me an hour or two. Got everything looking good. Like I told you earlier, I love a clean job site, and I just love when it feels like you can walk in and the house looks great. So I went ahead and just sweeped everything because we were about to start prepping for more progress, which means moving forward, we got stuff happening like the exterior getting painted. So we went ahead and got this exterior painted right here, and I went with a white, and it looks amazing. So we did 2 coats right there. Towards the end of this video, you'll see how awesome it turned out. They went ahead and sprayed around the entire house, and it looks phenomenal. I mean, just moving forward, you see everything that's pre-primed, like buying the Hardy. Obviously, that yellow look is the primer. I actually had someone ask that in a video, but once they started putting that white on it, I mean, this thing started coming together. You're like, whoa, this is what my house is actually going to look like. So everything started turning out great, and I'm just so excited that, you know, moving forward, you start seeing all this progress, because once you're going through all these different steps, it gets a little bit stressful, and sometimes you're like, man, what's really happening? What's really going on? And, you know, is this guy going to show up? Is that guy going to show up? And eventually, everybody started showing up. The painters got this knocked out for me. Then we got this super paint along the exterior here, and you're going to see how awesome and bright it looks. I mean, like, it literally gives it a pop. Check this out. I mean, moving around the house, you can just tell that, whoa, like, this white is really bright, and especially in the sunlight. And I was really happy with how it looked here, especially with the wood beams and the tongue and groove. Moving around the entire house, I mean, it really started giving it a ton of character. They were not done here at this point in the progress, but anyways, they started moving forward again, jumped off. I wanted to just kind of keep giving back and forth a little bit just so we could see as the house was getting done. But I was very happy with what the painters were able to do for me. I mean, it really brought this house together, started making it look amazing. We got good weather, so I was very happy with that, because, man, sometimes you catch these just days where it just rains and rains and rains, and then at the end of the day, you're like, man, can I ever get this house done? So I was blessed enough to get some awesome weather. They were coming in here, getting everything done for me, knocking everything out, and just wait till they start removing the plastic along the windows and just near like the TNG and the wood beams and everything like that. I mean, this house turned out phenomenal. They jumped on the roof right there to get all that done, and just check this out. Watch this. Black windows, white walls. I mean, look how beautiful this looks. This is so awesome. And then they started pulling off the plastic by the doors and everything like that along the side on the bottom where the stone veneer is, and it looks amazing. I had this mahogany doors, and I actually changed the color on those too, so you'll see towards the end of the video how that turns out. And I'm just very happy with the progress of everything. I mean, the house looks phenomenal. I'm very happy with it at this point. Even though it still feels like a construction site, you finally have like a glimpse of hope. You're like, man, this feels great. But look, as we go around the entire house, this looks phenomenal. I was very happy. Just loved the white. Okay, it's just one of those things where I was like, man, this is awesome. So they got that done, got everything touched up where it needed, the soffits, the fascia, everything like that. And as you can see, this house just really came together. But as we move on to month 7, moving forward, it was time to get the floors installed. So my dad came in, helped me out, kind of buff down all the floors, get everything sanded down, nice and smooth. So when Francisco and his crew came in, they actually got this flooring done for me, and it was pretty quick. Then it was time to actually get my sewer tapped in and everything like that. So I ran the machinery, got everything dug out, and then just got everything done so that we could finally get the house connected to the road right there. and the city came out, got me inspected, and approved it. Then electrical came in to do some final stuff, and then the painters came to paint the doors, paint the actual walls and everything like that. Then it was time to get the gutters installed, and this really gave the house character. I mean, these black gutters, the downspouts, and just everything about getting those gutters done made the house look so amazing. So then out of nowhere, the city sent out some folks to come work on the road in front of my house because it was actually damaged when they were digging for the water line. And so basically they came out, did this like in an hour total, and then it was time to actually get the entire driveway formed and poured and just worked through. So I was very happy with that, man. I just love the way concrete looks, honestly. Like, it truly brings the house together. Then it was time to get all the cabinets delivered and installed. As you can see, they got through this pretty quickly. I think it was like a 2-day job, and then as soon as they got done, we were able to get all the countertops and everything done. So very happy with how this looks. I went with a bunch of Calcutta right here, as you can see, white quartz countertops. I was just very happy with it. I mean, it looks great. Got the stainless steel appliances. Then it was time to move on to this back deck. So I got all the trenches dug out, got them poured, and then Carlos and his crew came out to get this thing done for me. I mean, check out how awesome this is going to be. We got a bunch of reinforcement just in case I ever want to use a hot tub in the back there, so I went ahead and planned for that. Got the stairs done, got everything done throughout the entire process, and I went with the Trex. And then the painters had to come back to get my accent walls done and do any touch-ups and anything like that, finalize all the walls. Got a navy wall in my master bedroom, green wall in my office, and then it was time to do the epoxy on my garage floor. My dad came in from Montana, got that sanded down for me. I started applying the epoxy, and I realized once I got done that this white did not look good at all. The technique I used was terrible. So then it was time to clean up along the edges and everything like that. We were going to do some more rough grading, get the dirt on the levels that it needed to be, and just make this house start coming together, because we were getting close to being done with the house. I mean, like, literally another month or so left to get this done. My brother came in from Alabama. Big shout out to Arch here on the machinery. Kind of helped me out a little bit, get everything rough graded. It just makes it easier when there's a few guys helping out and anything like that. We help each other out on job sites all the time. Got some topsoil in, got everything done because I was getting bushes soon. Then my garage door came out, so big shout out to Door Pro right there. Very happy with this black garage door and how it looks. So really brought the house together as well. And then it was time to get all the accessories installed inside, all the doorknobs, any like towel hanger areas and everything like that. So we were getting the wire shelving done as well. And I was just very happy with how that turned out because it makes the house just come together. Then it was time to get the tile done. So my boy Jake came in and actually got everything prepped and started laying all the tile, which turned out amazing. All the showers, I mean, it was so freaking awesome. The floors in there, and as you can see, I love me some blues. So as you can see, they're about to get down on that floor right there, and that looks amazing. I used an accent strip of blue as well in the guest bathroom, and I was just very happy with the backsplash and how everything turned out. Then it was time to get the attic insulation blown in, so they were getting everything done right here. So I was happy with like just being at this point of the build, because right now there's literally just a few weeks left of work. We got the crawl space done. Then it was time to get on with the landscaping. I spent about $2,000 on my bushes and then got straight to work, all my flowers and everything like that, and it really transformed the yard. I will be honest with you. I was so happy with that, and as you can see, we got all this done. Got a huge maple in the front right there. That's going to be amazing over time. Black mulch around the sides and the front and everything like that. And basically, I was just very excited. I love doing landscaping, to be honest. And then moving into month 8 right here, we were finishing up the landscaping, and it was almost time to start laying that sod. So once we got done with that, I had to do some more final grading, get everything cleaned up, because we were getting 20 pallets of sod brought in, as you can see right here. So here locally, we got Sim Sod Farm to bring out 20 pallets of Bermuda, and I was very excited for this. Got a couple high school kids to come out and help out, just, you know, with some extra labor for some summer money, and we got this all knocked out from like 8:15 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it looked phenomenal. I mean, once this grass was down, once we were able to start watering it and everything like that, it started looking amazing. We got all the edges cut up with a saw right there, made sure it was all nice and straight, and we basically knocked this out, and it didn't even break a sweat. No, literally, we were sweating all day out there. So got this done all the way to the back right there, and then it was time to pressure wash the driveway, pressure wash the house and everything. So just wanted to clean everything up, make it look really nice, and just go around the entire house and make it look fresh, because when you're working in all that dirt and everything, especially the house being white, I got this Trex right here, all that dirt was just swirling around and getting all over everything. So I even washed off the front of the road where I've been working, because a lot of trucks have been going in and out, and I wanted my neighbors to feel good. And we are done with the entire house. This is the master. together. Just very happy with how everything turned out, because a lot of times things go wrong, like right here where my epoxy looked terrible. So I actually grinded everything up and had to call Jose to come fix it. So I went with a dark gray with the white and black speckles right there. He came in, got it done, and now the garage looks phenomenal. I even covered up those white blocks that I had right there, painted them gray, and it just really transformed the garage. Before that, I literally didn't even want to pull into the garage. It was making me mad. We added a nice clear coat on top right there to really make sure it was nice and sturdy. Then we knocked out all of the furniture. It was time to stage. Had my interior designer come in, Rosa. She did a phenomenal job on my house, so if you want to use her, reach out to me, maybe on Instagram, shoot a DM, and we can get you in touch with her. But anyways, or you can go follow her on It's Handcrafted on TikTok. Moving forward, you can see we're getting all of the furniture. I mean, all the TVs, everything, getting it done, getting everything assembled, and that took about a week or maybe two, and basically it turned out freaking amazing, and I just fell in love. So here we are walking in. Check out how beautiful it is. There's so many things that I don't even know going on that just, I was like, okay, I don't know what purpose this serves, but it turned out so amazing. Loving my living room space here as you walk in. That's actually my book you can go get on Amazon.com, Stop Beating Yourself Up by Nikolai Timshuk Jr. Here we are in the dining room and then my master bedroom. I don't believe in TVs in rooms. And here we are in my master bathroom, and it turned out phenomenal as well. Really love all the paintings, the little things, just like the candles, just everything. You know, I'm blessed right here. So here's the utility room, and then going into my office, I have my studio set up for all my music and all my other YouTube channel, Back to Life and everything like that. That's guest bedroom number one. Guest bathroom right here that turned out great as well. Love blues, as you can see, and that's guest bedroom number two with the greens. But check out my back deck, man. This is just going to be ready for family, hanging out, grilling, doing stuff like that. Just an outside entertainment area, which I'm really happy with. And then you can see the garage turned into an amazing place. Like, this transformed the house. Here we go with some last views around the house. Actually, I wanted to get in the drone and just fly around, show you what it looks like, and just tell you that I'm very excited, and thank you for the support, because we got another YouTube play button. From these plans, we created an entire house, and I'm so grateful. Thank you.
If you did enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you follow me on all social platforms, especially Instagram, if you want some behind the scenes, sneak peek pictures and everything like that. Without further ado, smile more, worry less, and stay blessed. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.